Hi, everybody. Welcome to Manitowoc Cooperative Ministry Daily Devotions. I'm Pastor Judine Duerwaechter, co-pastor with the MCM, and I come to you ongoing recovering from my knee replacement surgery and coming to you from my recovery room, and so happy that we can take a look at Psalm 103 today. So without further ado, I'm going to read you some select verses of this absolutely beautiful psalm, and we'll see how this affects our lives this day. Psalm 103. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name, who crowns you with loving kindness and tender mercies, who forgives and heals and redeems and satisfies and renews your youth, who is gracious and who is merciful. So great is his mercy towards those who fear him. As a father pities his children, so the Lord pities those who fear him. For he knows our frame. He remembers that we are dust. As for humans, our days, they're like grass. As a flower of the field, so too we flourish. For the wind passes over it, and it is gone, and its place remembers it no more. But the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting on those who fear him, and his righteousness to children's children. Bless the Lord, you, his angels, who excel in his strength, who do his word, heeding the voice of his word. Bless the Lord, all you, his hosts, you, ministers of his, who do his pleasure. Again, I'm inviting you to take a look at the entire psalm. Very, very beautiful psalm. We are hearing here probably the words of King David later in his life, because we can really sense an appreciation of our finitehood, of that we are dust as human beings, and he's most likely taking a look at his life. And like many of us, as we mature, we come to appreciate things in life more and more. It's just kind of the way it works. But I know that as I read this psalm, I just feel so very loved by God when I hear all that God has given to humanity, especially in the beginning of the psalm, we heard that. I feel very, very loved by God. There certainly were some words of translation that, I might have struggled with much younger in my life. I'm okay with them today, but words like, for those who fear God, he loves those who fear him. Or sometimes we hear where we feel that God loves us because we're obeying God. And I would invite you to read the psalm and maybe just translate those words to a different word, probably a more accurate translation. Fear could maybe be translated into the word awe, and even the word love. So see if you can go ahead and read it and put the word awe or love in place of the word fear. And when you hear the word obey, you know how a young person kind of can be like a rebel to the word "you need to obey me" type of thing. Just translate that word to the word listen, that God invites us to listen for God's voice. And of course, that only happens when we are still and when we are quiet. And that will strengthen that alignment and that connection with God. But other than that, it is a psalm that as you do read through it, it's almost like a reply by humanity, like our final benediction for all that is good and for all that is glorious in our lives. Thanks be to God. As a matter of fact, the famous theologian Charles Spurgeon says about this psalm that there is too much in this psalm for 1,000 pens to write, and that this psalm alone could possibly suffice for the entire hymn book of the church, which should really inspire you to go ahead and take a look at it for yourself. So for all that God has given us, and knowing that our lives are fragile and they are finite, And for those of us who are a bit more mature, we look back and say, where did the time go? There's really no time to waste. Why would you want to waste any time with the life that you have and not be connected to the creator of love who created you so that you can experience as much love as possible in the time that you have here on this planet, as much love as possible. I hope this was helpful today, friends. Take great care until I see you again, and remember to live to love. Bye now.